Well, we are here. It is the time of the Great Awakening. What's that mean? It's a lot going on in 2020. A lot of a lot of upheaval, a lot of madness, a lot of craziness. And you might begin to question things you never questioned before. And you may find yourself believing things that you never even conceived of before. Yes, you, my friend, are beginning to awaken. Welcome to your awakening. Let's talk about it right here on Optimal Expression. Hello, I'm Jeremy Jones, and welcome to Optimal Expression, where we embrace our greatest potential to manifest our wildest dreams. Good people, I want to talk to you about the Great Awakening. I want to talk to you about your awakening. You see, the truth of the matter is, most of us, ever since we were babies, we were raised with this certain idea of concept of life and reality and what this world is and what this government is. And you get to a point in time where after you deal with all of this madness, it doesn't make any sense. And when you realize it doesn't make any sense, you realize because it's all lies. Why am I bringing all of this up? I'm bringing all of this up because, when you begin to awaken, you get to the point where you realize that, hey, all of this is a bunch of bullshit. This religion ain't working for me no more. I never liked the rules that I had to follow when I was in school. It never made sense to me, and they definitely don't make sense to me now. And then when you really realize the government ain't your friend, they ain't on your side. No. I mean, we could pull out a laundry list of lies that the government has told us, right? And this is real stuff that if you ever Googled it, you could find out, Google government lies. Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of them. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm not a fearmonger at all, but we're talking about waking people up, right? And when it comes to awakening, my feeling of it is it's self-appointed. When it's time for you to wake up, you'll wake up. The problem is, usually when you wake up, you're by yourself. And that can be hard to deal with. When you're the only one who doesn't believe the narrative that's in the news right now. When you're the only one who don't want to go to church anymore. When you're the only one that decided you want to brand your own spiritual beliefs, and it might not be one book to go with it, And when you want to be the one to forge your own path and begin to follow your own mind, people are going to look at you strange. And I just wanted to do a video to talk to people about how to deal with when you're waking up, right? And also share a few tools with you that helped me on my awakening. I'll never forget, I first began to wake up when I saw, it was an audio version of The Secret. And yeah, I was at a desperate point in my life. I would have believed anything anybody told me. And it was the first time I heard anything that told me that I had power. I thought that was pretty dope, And it told me life was a friendly experience. And it told me that my thoughts shape reality. Well, why didn't they tell me that in grade school? No, I was learning about Christopher Columbus. Yeah, I had to learn about him. They didn't teach me the law of attraction, right? So, when you get to the point where you get especially when you're having a spiritual awakening and then you begin to march to a different drummer. Then you begin to look differently at God. Then you begin to question the very religion that they told you should never question. Why? Why shouldn't you ever question it? Is God gonna get me for that too? He might. So, you're gonna be an oddball. And one thing that I realized pretty early is you can't share this stuff with everybody. I remember when I first, learned about the law of attraction, and I listened to that CD day in, day out for several months. Okay. And I wanted to tell the good news to anybody who would listen. And I had gotten to the point where I could listen to people's conversation and I could say, oh, well, you probably shouldn't put that out in the universe. You ought to see how strange people look at you. The hell you telling me what I should be doing? Grown people don't like to be told what to do. even if you feel like you're right. And you might be, but don't tell nobody grown what to do. And you can't wake anybody up. Think about it like this. When you're asleep, like really sleep, and you are good in your slumber, and somebody wake you up before you're ready to get up, ain't you mad at them for that? Hell yeah, you mad. Why are you mad? Because you wasn't ready to wake up yet. And that's the same way. That's how it is when you try to wake people up too soon. So some guidelines to follow for those of you who are waking up, okay? Number one, you are not alone, okay? There are many of us who are here, and there are more of us than ever before, and we're growing in number, okay? So find a community somewhere with like-minded people, okay? And social media makes that very easy. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, there are several communities. Find your community, find your group of people that you can have certain conversations with, people who will share their journey with you and share their path, and you can connect with like-minded people, okay? You're not alone. Number two, don't try to wake anybody up, okay? The best thing you can do to wake people up is to be serious about your walk. Meaning, people are going to notice that you're different. People are going to notice that when everybody else is stressed out and upset, you cool, okay? So don't try to wake anybody up, but be serious about your practice and show other people love, patience, grace, compassion. And it's going to flow through your heart. And people are going to say, what are you doing? They're going to notice your peace. Wow, what are you doing? And then you can share with them some things because now they're a little open. Don't carry them too fast though. Don't start talking about astral travel or something like that because, you might lose them as quickly as you got them. All right. Walk in your power. Don't be afraid. You don't have to go out and put your beliefs on blast, but don't be afraid to be who you are. If you rock your crystals, wear your crystals, hold your crystals. If you like to meditate at a public park, go meditate. Go for it. It's wonderful to be in nature, to connect to nature. You don't have to hide yourself and hide your practice. You can be you, but you just don't want to be at the point where you're telling people what they should do, because then that wouldn't make you any different from a lot of the other religions to feel like they need to tell you. Have grace with other people. Understand that just because they aren't where you are right now doesn't mean that they're bad. It doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that they are where they need to be right now. And you have to be the bigger person in understanding that and not letting yourself be caught up in what they should be doing, right? Because the only person you have to worry about is you. And be sure to keep your focus and your attention on those things that foster growth, okay? But ultimately, the main thing I want you to understand as you're awakening right? One of the things you have to understand is that when your world appears to be falling apart, the reason why it's happening is because you're rising in consciousness. And as you rise in consciousness, you are beginning to look at things different. You're looking at things differently. Your perceptions are changing. Your beliefs are changing. So as a result, your being is changing. Okay? The law of vibration. We are all in a vibrational state. Your vibrational state is changing. Your being is changing when you awaken. Okay? And so as a result, your frequency is different because we're all emitting a frequency. That's how you know what's yours. And that is the reason why we do a lot of the stuff that we do, whether it's a ritual or a meditation or prayer, right? We're trying to get a particular frequency because once you're in that frequency, then you can be in alignment with the frequency of the thing you're trying to manifest. So with the change in your frequency, it's going to feel like the world is collapsing because you are changing. So people around you are going to look at you differently. They might talk behind your back about you, okay? Some of your best friends may not be your best friends anymore. Some of your love relationships is going to be breakups, okay? And the most important thing too about these breakups in particular, don't take them personally. And whether it's a person, whatever they may have done, or regardless of how it broke up, any of these relationships, whether it's family, friendship, or affairs of the heart, don't take any of them personally. Understand that things are changing because you are changing. You're falling out of alignment with your old paradigm, and you're coming into an alignment with a newer paradigm, right? So what's going to happen is you're going to lose a lot of people, basically. Don't take that personally, regardless of how it happens. Regardless of how they fall out of your life, let them go, okay? And let them go as gracefully as you can and allow them to be the way they need to be, okay? And I understand that's a hell of a lot easier said than done. And if you early in your spiritual, awakening, I ain't gonna say I handled all of mine with the best of ease either. But I want to give some wisdom to you based on my experience that it's best to recognize what's happening and let it go. Okay? So what's going to happen is first, everything else around you is going to collapse, right? Your paradigm is collapsing. That may even mean that you might lose a job, right? You might be working in a career, for over 10 years or something, and now all of a sudden that career is over. That could very well happen. And so things that were stable structures will begin to collapse around you. But don't let that deter you. Okay? Continue along your awakening. And as you sustain your newly acquired vibration, you will, after the old has collapsed, you will be renewed, your life will be renewed, and you're going to get new people into your life. You're going to get a love mate that is more in alignment with who you are and your new set of beliefs. You're going to attract a new career or a new job or a situation career-wise that's more so in alignment with who you are. And in terms of people you can't get rid of, as you stand your ground and you respectfully continue to be yourself and allow them to be them, they'll accept it after a while. As long as you don't try to put your stuff on them, and whenever they try to put their stuff on you, you'll be wise enough to know how to tell them to keep it moving or whatever. But after a while, that'll smooth out. They might still think you crazy, but after they see, well, he ain't gonna change. He just gonna go ahead. He gonna keep on, girl. He over there chatting and burning incense and sage and candles. Huh? It's just affirmations. I'm just saying affirmations and I burned the candle to focus my intention. Very powerful practice, by the way. Check that out. Yeah. Um, so yeah, people will accept it after a while, and it may be, kind of funny or rough in the beginning, but man, as you continue to work on yourself, and regardless of what happens, don't see them in a bad light, or that they're bad people. They just are who they are. Allow them to be who they are, and they will allow you to be who you are. And this video is running kind of long, so I'm gonna say please remember to like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you here next time on Optimal Expression. Peace and love. Oh, I sat like that for a long time, and my leg didn't like it. I ain't Russell Simmons. I don't fold up that good like that, man. This shit hurt.